Hello and welcome to Gamer Politics. I'm Jerrid Foiles, and we're here again this week. We're going to be talking about some hard hitting topics, such as the net neutrality ruling, the man who stood his ground in a Florida theater. So stick around, folks. It's me, and I've got my other cohorts with me. Say hello to Chris Kovacs.
Yo, yo, what's up?
Deanna Trader.
How's it going?
And Matthew Maciejewski. Yeah, there. Him.
How's it going, guys?
That guy. All right, folks. So as you last joined us, when you joined us last week, I think it was last week, 2 weeks ago, something like that.
Yeah.
One of the biggest topics we were talking about, mainly because that was the one thing we disagreed on, was really gun control and gun rights, and it spawned from the discussion about Trayvon Martin versus George Zimmerman. And tonight we're going to be discussing the latest in the Florida Stand Your Ground debacle. Okay. Full disclosure, this has nothing to do with Stand Your Ground, but you know, it just doesn't help.
Yeah. Well, it's probably going to end up being a Stand Your Ground case.
I hope not. God.
They are already talking about that's what this guy's going to use.
Oh God, I hope not.
It actually happened locally for us. We live literally, it's like a town over from us.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, let me give you the overview on what happened, folks. This a gentleman in Florida was trying to enjoy his movie, and there was a guy texting in the movie theater. He asked the man to stop. The man with the cell phone said, "Why you mad, bro?" And so the guy grabbed a gun and shot the guy. Just totally pwned him right there in the theater. He's the man is dead, and the texter's wife is injured, from what I understand.
She got shot in the hand.
She got shot in the hand. The perpetrator faces a first-degree murder charge, I believe. First or second?
More than likely.
Yeah.
Second, probably. First requires premeditation, usually.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. He probably thought in his mind, man, if this bastard doesn't put away his phone.
Yeah, I mean, the case is a little muddled. I mean, the guy went to the manager and told him, hey, he's texting. It was during the previews, mind you. When he came back, allegedly there was an altercation between the older gentleman. The shooter was 73, was set in his 70s.
Wow.
He's also a former police captain who actually formed a tactical unit. He was a former SWAT team member. I kid you not.
Kidding me.
No. And he used to be a chief or head of security at our local theme park, Busch Gardens. I don't know if you ever heard of it or not.
Yeah, I've heard. Who hasn't heard of Busch Gardens?
I'm not sure. It's a local park. So.
I mean, I was gonna say Busch Gardens had national they were trying to compete with Disney for a little while.
Yeah, but then the Anheuser-Busch got bought and things went weird. But it's the SeaWorld without whales.
Yeah,
said it's in Africa. But, the guy is a cop. The guy, allegedly there was an altercation after the guy came back to the theater, they got into a scuffle. Well, not a scuffle, but we don't know what happened. There was a verbal altercation. Something was thrown that people are saying was popcorn. The young man threw popcorn at the older gentleman, the shooter. And that's when the older gentleman took out his gun and shot the younger man. The reasoning they're saying that the wife got shot was because she's trying to break him up, and the way she was holding her hand was kind of like, break it up, and that's when she got shot. Not trying to stop him from getting shot. The only defense we could see here, I could see with, this kind of the stand your ground working, is if you could prove that the old man felt that his life was in danger.
In danger by popcorn. Right. So just
yeah. I mean,
ridiculous.
I don't know about you, but I mean, God, that popcorn. I don't know if you've ever been hit with popcorn in a movie theater. That shit's like a brick, man. God, you
I
ever
have
eat that
been hit
crap?
by-
it's like I can't. You're like, God damn, I don't like their cream
Well, maybe the
corn.
butter or
It's too
salt got in
crunchy.
your eyes. Just sting your eyes.
I don't like this theater's cream corn. It's too crunchy. But it's kind of a situation where there are a couple other cases recently where stand your ground has become a big deal locally. But it's kind of come into a situation of, did the guy feel threatened? Did the younger gentleman actually physically try to assault him?
How? But that's just the thing, though. First of all, how in the world could you feel threatened in a damn movie theater?
If you're a 73-year-old guy and well, then again, the 70-year-old guy also looked like,
If he was a former cop, no,
yeah, he's not a small dude.
You're not
he isn't.
easily threatened.
And not only that, if you're a cop, you should be able to diffuse this kind of situation. You are trained to do this.
Right, exactly.
But at the same time, you got a guy who could physically harm you. I don't know if the former cop has any medical conditions or anything like that. I mean, pretty much, if the young guy decided to try and start a fist fight, you probably shouldn't do that. The guy had some anger problems, decided to get all Hulk up and be like, Hulk rage in the movie theater about some guy ratting on him. Maybe he decided to get a little mouthy, be like, nothing happened, because the manager didn't come back. He's like, nothing happened, punk? What you gonna do now? And a fight started. I don't know. In any case, does it justify a shooting? Not to me, but stand your ground's a weird law.
Stand your ground really is a. I agree. It's a weird law. It's a law that should not even be around, because it's like being threatened really is subjective. So you can't really use that as a defense. It's not really a cut and dry.
Maybe it should be more clearly defined. Right now, loosely interpreted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've read the law. I have read the law, and it is vague but specific simultaneously. I don't know if you guys are aware of what the castle doctrine is. You come in my house, you can get shot.
Castle thing is a little bit. The castle thing is a bit different, because that's your home. If somebody's invading your home, that's more of a threat than like you're in a public place and some guy's giving you a weird look. It's this kind of law that, in my eyes, makes concealed carry a bad idea, because then you got these idiots who are just afraid of just somebody giving them the stink eye, so they shoot him and they get away with it.
Now, there are rules to what you can do and not do with stand your ground. Now, if some guy just pisses you off, you can't just blast the guy. You can't go looking for a fight either.
Well, apparently this guy thinks he can, because...
Yeah, but, it's kind of like you have to be preventing a crime or a felony or be in fear of your life. That's the only reasons in which you can use it. So that's kind of how the Zimmerman defense kind of worked. He thought there was a crime being committed, so that kind of, that kind of got him some leeway in that situation. Unfortunately, it wasn't a crime being committed, but that kind of gave him some leeway. This one, a little bit different. It's more of you got to prove he was in fear for his life, because the guy wasn't committing a crime to begin with. Was he violating policy in the theater and being somewhat of a dick? Possibly. Yeah. I don't care if you text during previews, really. But during the movie, you put that damn phone down.
Right. No, don't get me wrong. The guy who got killed was kind of being a dick, but he doesn't deserve to get killed for it.
And in that case, the guy should get whatever he deserves. But I think the stand your ground is works in the case of, if I use my gun to prevent a crime, to prevent like a robbery or something like that. I don't want to have to go to jail because of that. You know, if someone goes and tries to rob someplace, I can use my weapon as a deterrent for that. If you purse snatch or steal something from somebody, you know, I hate to say it, you know what? I'm okay if you shoot a purse snatcher. You're committing a crime, you deserve whatever you get. Don't do felony, something serious. And the law does specify that. You do something like that. Have you seen the video of the guy who got the shoes stolen at the I think it was in Georgia. Guy got his shoes stolen waiting outside for like some new Jordans or something. Guy turns around and blasts the guy for stealing a dude's shoes. Clean shoot.
Jesus.
Wow.
But, you know, it's Atlanta. But
yeah, it happens there all the time.
Yeah.
But, you know, you do something like that, expect repercussions. Don't think, oh, well, I'm not using the gun, so I'm not going to get shot. No, bullcrap. You commit a crime, you're probably going to get shot. You could get seriously hurt. You can get killed. Same thing with breaking in people's houses. You hear all the time in California, someone breaks into someone's house, uses a gun, the homeowner's now going to jail for shooting an unarmed man in your house. What the fuck? What, you gotta wait for them to start wailing on someone and poning their ass before you can actually shoot them?
So wait, you're saying that there are people whose houses are invaded and they still, you know, go to jail for shooting a guy.
The ones I've read are in California because they're so liberal with their gun. They're very not liberal with their gun, but they're very strict gun laws, and they don't have a castle doctrine. That's why the castle doctrine exists, and that's also why stand your ground also exists. Our castle doctrine, for instance, states you have to shoot them in the front. Stand your ground. Don't matter where you shoot them, as long as they're in your house. Clean shoot.
Yeah, well, and you see, well, I was going to say you can say that California is a liberal state. Let's face it.
I was going to say liberal with their gun laws, but that indicate that they're not very they're very lax.
Oh.
They're very tight with the gun laws.
Right.
But that's kind of why I'm not. I don't think stand your ground is as much of a problem as it is you need to properly educate people in its use and application. I've gone for a concealed permit. They went over it briefly, but didn't really give you a good understanding of how the law works. If you have a concealed carry, you should fully understand situations in which this law should apply.
And that's the problem.
It's education.
Exactly, and that's the problem. It's that lack of education because they're not going to. It doesn't matter what state you're in. Illinois.
I think a retired cop would know that, though.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Illinois is about to. Yeah. Illinois is actually just now shelling out. They're right now shelling out their concealed carry permits. But you know, there's no education given to these idiots that just want to be the next friggin' Doc Hollywood, and they want to, you know, walk around town.
Doc Holliday, maybe?
Yeah, Holiday. Sorry.
No one wants to be Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox doesn't want to be Michael J. Fox at this point.
Yeah, did you hear about Michael J. Fox's ice cream shop? They only sell shakes.
Oh, God.
Boo. Too soon.
Too soon.
No, too late. I mean, come on.
Too late.
For once, a joke is way late. It's Jerrid. We forgive.
It is. It could only be Jerrid.
Yes.
Oh, God. Another cheesy joke.
Unless Deanna wants to comment, I'd like to comment on this too, you know.
Yeah, I think I've been monopolizing your guys' time enough.
Yeah, no, go ahead, go ahead.
Shit.
Chime in. That's the thing, guys. Chime in whenever you have something to say. Chime in.
Stand up on my chair. I got something to say.
You know what grinds my gears?
Yeah. So the thing is, like, I'm actually starting, the more and more we talk about this, more I'm starting to see Jerrid's point of view on it. Before, you know, I mentioned before in the last show that I have a lot of family members that have concealed weapons license, you know, collect guns, so on and so forth. And, you know, the truth of the matter is, it's like Jerrid said, there's just no reason or justification for doing this, and hence why the law itself, unless properly educated, people are just going to use it for any damn reason they feel they feel threatened. And that, to me, is a big, big problem. And if they don't fix it soon, we're just going to keep seeing more and more stories about this, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. That's the problem, and it's, yeah.
Well, I think the concept is that, people are saying it's the Wild West in Florida.
It is.
It's not.
I mean, come on, stand your ground with concealed carry. It basically is. And that's the way it's going to be up here in Illinois.
Vigilantism.
Right.
It doesn't.
Which is what they did in the Wild West, because there was because in the Wild West there was no real law. There was just a bunch of vigilantes, a bunch of guys with guns, doing what they thought was right.
Yeah, but you can't go. Well, I guess you could go looking for trouble. George Zimmerman kind of proved that point.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing on that one. You're kind of right. I do think that we do need to format the law to make it a little more clear and well-defined. But I'm not sure that the complete elimination or abolishment is the solution either. You need to protect people who use guns correctly and not punish them for doing so.
Sure.
I don't want to see people hesitate to use a gun in a life or death situation because they're afraid of the repercussions of doing so.
Sure.
But, that's kind of why we see why these laws exist. They're protecting not the perpetrator, but rather the victims. And that's what it's designed to do. Unfortunately, it's turning the perpetrators into the victims. Right. And that's never what it was intended for.
And it's turning victims into the perpetrators.
Very much so. Very much.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like the concept of where we see people talking about, I love my guns, yeah. People aren't. I mean, there are people like that. But, I know some. Trust me, I know some. But, I mean, we're not everybody who carries a gun and concealed carry is a freaking gun nut who just wants to go around shooting people. Yeah. They're there because when the crime is committed, they want to be able to defend themselves and defend others in a situation which they cannot defend themselves. You cannot always rely on cops. There are not enough police to protect everybody. Citizens should have the responsibility to protect themselves as well. And when the time comes to it, you should be able to make a justifiable reason to use that force as well. It's all about training. It's all about education. It's not about restrictions, I think, as much as education. Educate people. Don't just punish them. And I think that's really what gun control should be about. Education.
How about you, Deanna? You've been quiet this whole time.
No, I haven't.
Well, okay, you haven't really been... Okay, fine. You haven't been silent, but you have been, not talking as much as we have.
Because everything I would say is being said.
Oh, okay. Well, all right then. Okay.
She likes her guns, yeah!
She does. She likes her guns. They took our guns.
Gun show. Oh.
I got tickets to your gun show right here. Boom, boom.
It's like, check, please.
All right. So shall we move on to our next topic?
Yes, please.
All right. Let's go with Bridgegate.
Or as I heard someone call it, the Fat and the Furious.
What?
That's great.
No, you didn't.
That's awesome.
Okay, I stole that joke from the radio, but still it applies.
That was good. Kudos to that radio station.
It was Glenn Beck. You want to give kudos?
He's like, never mind.
Good joke.
Kudos retracted. How dare you make me kudos? I feel so dirty. All right. So anyway, now personally, I don't know much about it. Matt sent me a link to it and kind of gave me the gist of what's going on here. But to put it in gamer speak like we like to do here on the show, New Jersey Governor Chris Christie wanted some support from some other political bigwigs in New Jersey. He didn't get it, so he QQ'd more And he said, well, fine, I'm going to close off some lanes on the
George Washington Bridge.
Oh. The Wikipedia thing you gave me says the Fort Lee lane lane closure. So
yeah, it was Fort Lee was the city. It was the George Washington Bridge, which is a major bridge.
Right. So now he's all like, fine, it's basically like a server admin kicking you and banning you for being all butthurt, and that's exactly what Governor Christie is doing here.
And he rage banned the entire guild at the same time by pissing off the citizens.
Wow.
I don't know if he really did have much to do with this, but in either way, he might have just torpedoed any chance he had at getting the presidential election or winning the nomination for the Republicans in 2016.
And I honestly told I have honestly said in a few on a few occasions that if Chris Christie did run, and if the Democrats had a lackluster candidate, I'd vote for Christie, because I mean, I don't know, that soundbite of him on Fox News telling Fox News to basically GDIAF, because he was trying to run the state after the hurricane. It's like that right there is just integrity.
Well, I mean, he's from New Jersey. How much integrity can you really have?
Well, apparently now, not much.
Well, I used to be a really big Chris Christie supporter. Not so much really anymore. He's kind of some of the issues he's brought up lately and his stance on certain things I don't agree with. But I do like the guy. In all honesty, I do like Chris Christie. You know what? When the guy tells you something, I believe him. I think he's a straight shooter. I really do.
Agreed, and that again is why if he was to ever run, and assuming the Democrats had a crappy candidate, yeah, I would totally vote for Christie.
But at the same time, he did get rid of the people that were responsible for it. There were email chains that show that people knew that this was planned. This did happen. Whether or not Christie was involved, who knows? Kind of like a similar thing with Obama and Benghazi. How much did he really know and not know? Very similar situation, although nowhere nearly as bad of a situation, because we didn't have soldiers die because of it. But still, this is pretty bad. This is a governor who, or at least an executive branch that, for a state that threw its weight to harm a local government, a local mayor. That's uncalled for. And, if he had nothing to do with it, and I'm not sure if he did, I'm not going to stick up for him. He already fired a ton of people over this thing, as he should have. And this came up in November, where he's like, this is bullshit. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about. Then he's like, oh, this is real. If I really did do something about this, or was involved, would I have been making jokes about this a couple months ago? No. So I'll tell you what, I'm firing everybody involved. Okay. But do you guys think this is going to affect him in the upcoming race or not?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's bad publicity.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a case where, whoever he's running against is definitely going to use this in debates, and it's just going to turn into bad mojo.
Is this going to be 49% bad?
No.
Romney's comment about the people that won't vote.
Yeah. No, it won't be that bad. It'll be more like it'll be more like Rick Perry forgetting the 3 programs that he would cut if he was elected.
I remember that.
I voted for that. All right. Yeah. I don't think this is really going to affect him in reality. I think this is all going to pass over once this is all done with. Maybe the news will bring it up, but the guy has the media and not the media, but the people in his hand. The guy can speak well. He has the ability to be very engaging. He is very upfront. He's a very good orator. And that's what you need to do to be president. That's why Romney lost, quite frankly. He's not as good an orator and speaker as, I'm using the word probably and mispronouncing it, he's not as good a speaker as Obama is. That's how Obama won the first time. That's how Clinton won.
I'm sorry, but Mitt Romney lost because he was a disingenuous douche.
That's true of all politicians.
I mean, Mitt Romney is the worst, though. I mean, come on.
I'm telling you right now, Romney would have won if Sandy didn't happen. It would have, or at least been a lot closer of a race than it was. Sandy made Obama look incredibly presidential. Time.
Okay, so anyway, staying on topic. We'll maybe save this. We will save this discussion for another time because trust me,
we got the midterm elections coming up. We're gonna have some really interesting shows when it gets towards that.
Oh time. Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will.
Look forward to the midterms. Got my lighter ready.
How about you guys, Chris, Deanna? Your thoughts on this Bridgegate debacle?
Ladies first.
All right. Well, I'll be honest. I've only read the one article on it, and while I was reading it, I was thinking, this is the thing, really? You know, I mean, not only do I think it's ridiculous because this guy is throwing a fit, but I think it's ridiculous that lanes getting shut down on a bridge was such a huge thing, and I withheld my comments for a little while to hear what you guys have to say, and I do agree that maybe the abuse of power was uncalled for. Do I think that it's going to prevent him from being nominated? I don't think it's that big of a deal, but if he is, you can bet you it's going to come back and bite him in the ass, because every little thing does in a presidential election.
I hate to say it, but I think he's probably going to get the nomination. I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not voting for the guy for nomination, but I'm pretty sure he's going to get it. Just like Romney won last time. I didn't think he was the right candidate for my party, but they had to pick the freaking dude who can win the election. Yeah, great pick there, buddy.
Let me ask you, Matt. Who would you pick?
Oh, you really wanted to get into this now?
I just want
to. Ted Cruz.
I'm afraid I'm sorry I asked.
I like Ted Cruz. We can. I don't know if we want to get into in this show, but no. I really want to get into. I have my reasons for liking him, and I hear why a lot of people don't like him, but I've never heard people give me good explanations on why they don't like the guy. And I like hearing good reasons on why people don't like somebody like him. Yeah, like. I don't like Obama. I don't like a lot. I can give you good, solid reasons on why I don't like him outside of, he's a socialist. I have policy reasons on why I don't like the guy. I like hearing policy reasons on why people don't like a politician, not just, he's an elitist douchebag. Okay, but what policies do you not disagree with? He's an elitist douchebag. That's not a policy.
Yeah, I always said there's plenty of reasons to hate Obama. We don't have to make shit up.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. He's not a communist.
Right. No.
Yeah.
And my thing. Well, I'll tell you. One of the things that I didn't like about Mitt Romney was that, let's face it, he was a liberal. He was a liberal in disguise, and that's why I say he was a disingenuous douche.
He's a progressive.
Yeah.
He's a progressive. Liberals are different in my mind.
I mean.
I mean. There's an R in front of his name didn't mean he was a Republican.
Right.
He was just as left as Obama, and that's why I didn't want him to be my candidate. I'm a conservative. Why am I putting the non-conservative in a Republican nomination? Same thing with John McCain. McCain's not really a conservative.
I mean, yeah, he is. I mean, McCain wasn't as extreme as Ted Cruz, and that's why that's one of the reasons why I don't like Ted Cruz. But I mean,
I'm a conservative extremist. I like conservatives. I mean, I don't agree with. A lot of people hate the religion part of the conservative movement. I understand that. A lot of Bible thumpers on the right.
Right.
But don't use that as a reasoning for disliking the conservative movement. There are good things about it. There are good signs on the on the liberal / progressive side as well. But at the same time, I think the thing is that the reason I like Ted Cruz, he likes smaller government. He believes in trying to take the government and scaling it back down. I don't like big government. I think big government is bad.
Okay.
But I don't think at the same time... Yeah, exactly. I hate big government. Mitt Romney, but here wasn't a damn thing he was going to do to change the way things are right now.
All right.
We were in the same hole we were in then. There was nothing that he would have done to fix anything. There was nothing at all. We were just going to see the same policies that came out now. He would never have repealed Obamacare.
Oh, yeah.
He would have reformed it to become Romney Care 2.0. You voted for the guy who created the template for the thing you're against. How stupid are you? When they voted him in, I'm like, well, he can win. He's Obama. He's just paler and got more money, probably. He's Mormon.
And more kids,
got the magic
for sure.
underwear.
And more kids, too.
God, yeah.
And the black grandchild that people made fun of, apparently. I don't know if you saw that article or not, but whoa.
Yeah.
No,
one of
I
these
didn't.
ones doesn't look like the other. Yeah, that
Wow.
They were doing a comedy segment on MSNBC, and they did like it was with comedians, with Melissa Harris Perry and her show, and they actually showed a picture of Romney with his Christmas card, and one of them, and apparently one of his kids adopted a black baby. And they said one of these things doesn't look like the other.
Wow.
And they made a couple of cracks about it. And she really she got beat hard on it. And I don't even like her that much. But, I felt bad for him. Like, it wasn't that bad. It was a comedy segment. You expect these kinds of stupid things.
Right.
And they're like, we're trying to see how the Republican Party isn't racially diverse. Okay. Don't know how that really plays into you making fun of a black baby. Okay.
right.
Alan West. I really like Alan West. But, okay. Topic for another time.
Well, I was gonna. Can I talk now?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Chris. Sorry. You know me. I got into my,
Tangents.
Yeah, I know. Trying to upstage everyone, douchebag. Excuse me. Sorry, that's something in my throat.
Only you.
All right. Anyway, fuck you. All right. So. Jeez, well, he's a fellow fat ass, and as a fellow fat ass, I can't really down the guy too much, but I will say that it was kind of a baby move, and like Deanna said, it'll bite him in the ass in the end. But and I don't know. I mean, I think honestly, it'll probably be something that'll be minor, that might be blown out of proportion.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I don't think it's going to really stop him from being, a candidate for president. So
he's done a very good job at cleaning it up.
Oh,
Far
he has.
better job than probably other politicians would have done.
Oh, without a doubt.
I mean, Jerrid and Deanna didn't even know what the hell we were talking about.
Yeah.
That's how well he cleaned this up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's masterful almost. The guy managed to do damage control pretty damn well in the thing.
Well, full disclosure, the only reason why I haven't seen much about it is because I don't have cable. I only have internet, so I'm not watching like Fox News, MSNBC, that all of them, and really, unless there's a headline that like is on Yahoo or my Facebook news feed, it's just going to go right over me.
It blew up during the Christmas to New Year's gap, and if you want to bury something, that's a good time for crap to happen, because nobody's paying attention in that time frame. It's the dump it time frame. They sneak bills in crap during that time,
That's when the NDA got signed.
Yeah. Yeah. We can talk about that. Yeah. So yeah. So.
Well, all right. I guess we'll move on to our final topic. And speaking of server admins that get all butt hurt, you're going to see a lot of that right now, because the FCC has ruled, or excuse me, a not the Supreme Court. What did you say?
Court. Superior Court.
Superior Court. A federal Superior Court has ruled that the FCC is no longer in control of the internet. It's now giving control to the private corporation entities such as Verizon, which was a big spearhead into this effort, Comcast, Time Warner Cable. They are now going to tell you how to use the internet, and they're going to probably charge you an arm and a leg for it.
The big thing for them wasn't so much charging us. They want to charge Netflix. They want to charge Amazon. They want to charge streaming services taxes for the bandwidth.
Yeah, well, there's also...
Well, that's going to come back to the customer, though.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And hello, fellow gamers. How do you think that's going to affect our bandwidth whenever we're playing online?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't WoW update using torrents or something along that?
Oh, yeah. P2P torrents.
It uses P2P, yeah.
Guess what Comcast used... Guess what... I don't know how familiar you are with how a lot of this started. Comcast, I'm sure you got... Deanna, you and Jerrid are aware. Comcast used to filter torrent traffic.
Yeah.
Real bad back in, the 2000s? They were real bad about it. And they were even lying. Eventually, just going and said, yeah, but we don't care. It's our network. What are you going to do about it? That's kind of what sparked all this crap with the government saying you can't filter internet traffic and punish people for using services.
Yeah,
because Comcast wanted people to stop using torrents.
So, and that's why whenever I saw this, I linked that picture of the cable guy in South Park's episode Informative Murder Porn. Because that's how it's going to go. They're going to be like, you don't like the way we block torrents? Oh, that's too bad, rubbing his nipples. Oh, God.
Exactly.
Because that's exactly how they're going to act.
Nobody gives a crap. I mean, nobody gives a crap. The average user sadly doesn't care because they won't see it that much. Or if they do, they'll see it in a way that it's invisible to them. For us, the people who live on the internet practically, who use it as a service, it's going to hurt us. I cut the cord on cable because I'm tired of paying high-ass cable fees. Now what? My Netflix is going to go up. My Amazon Prime membership will probably go up. Hulu's going to be even worse. And they're going to... Even worse, Comcast has a stake in Hulu. But, it's going to harm those of us who don't want to use cable because, they decided, and the FCC, in a stupid move, didn't decide to call them a common carrier, which imposes stricter restrictions, which they did for cable TV, which they did for the power companies. That's how you have monopolies with utilities, because they are much strictly regulated by the government. But they didn't do that in the original rulings.
Right.
And that's where they found the loopholes.
And that right now, and that's what we're facing right now. There's not going to be any government regulations because the FCC is now out of the loop. Now the FCC is expected to appeal, and if they appeal, that means it goes to the Supreme Court. Right. So let's hope that the Supreme Court will see things a little bit differently. Hope. Hey, I'm an Obama supporter, and we're all about hope.
All about hope.
God is hope if you're an Obama supporter.
I'm all about
Listen. When they go to the grocery store and they go down that cereal aisle, they go right to the Hopios. Okay? Right to the
Hopios.
They eat that shit up, man.
The Hopios. I like that.
Yeah.
I like change because I don't got any.
But
I move forward, all right. Not the way you want to go, but
I don't keep change. Everything's on plastic.
What's this going to do for things like MMOs? How many what's this going to do for people who are online a lot? I mean, as a Comcast subscriber, it's bad enough. I have business class, so I don't got to worry about it. But those Comcast is stupid 250 gigabyte bandwidth caps.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Can I just say that here's why that's going to be a big problem, and it's funny you mentioned MMOs. Not just WoW, but think about other stuff like looming around the corner is a new Evercraft, right? Yeah. There's like talk of there's the other project I think it's called Project Titan, what Blizzard's working on. Yep. There's all these other things, and what do they all equal? More graphics, more content, more bandwidth.
I wonder if free to play will even be a thing.
Yeah. And you look at what I don't know the country off the top of my head, but there's a country, I think it's like, is it Norway or something? And they have over a meg download, and it's practically free, and there's no caps or limits.
A lot of countries have free internet.
Yeah,
yep.
And I'm just like, why? We bitch about so many things.
But also, those countries also have their internet filtered and censored quite a bit too.
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe.
Australia, for instance, they're censored. A lot of countries are censored, unfortunately. When the government provides the internet service, they can institute censoring, which is sad. Because they're like, well, we give it to you, so we can tell you what you can see and what you can't see.
Well, and that's the thing that you almost expected from the FCC, because they do that with TV. But they didn't.
I don't want censoring on the internet.
Well, no, neither do I. I'm just saying you kind of have expected that to happen with the FCC being in charge of it.
The reason censoring over the air existed was because children could watch TV. And,
children can get on the internet.
True, but back in the day when the rules were created, you only had like 3 channels on TV, and that was it.
Well, true.
It was kind of you have a small broadcast medium or a small number of channels, so we put restrictions to prevent, this type of stuff of being on every channel. Now with cable and everything, cable doesn't really have any regulations. To be honest, the FCC rules are very outdated for censoring broadcast television. A lot of people think they should be removed, including me. They're very outdated and archaic, but they need to be removed. But that's a topic for another time.
Right.
But what we're seeing now is I'm not going to say the death of the internet, but we're going to see is the rebirth of the underground movements. And we're going to see a lot of people going to Tor and these other services and them creating new technology to mask what you do online.
Yep.
It's just going to become more and more popular, and face it, no matter what technological improvements they're going to come up with to try and detect these things, someone's going to find a way around it. And I expect the FCC to do the right thing and probably redo the law, reword it, and do it the right way the second time.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Deanna, what do you think?
Yeah, I've kind of already... Yeah, go on.
Free internet for all. By the way, I want my damn Google Fiber.
Now here's what I see happening.
Wow.
Like I said, you give these corporations a lot more control than you already are.
Yeah.
Excuse me. If you see like Comcast's like packages, these packages are going to expand.
Well, rates are still controlled by regulations. The cable companies can't just arbitrarily raise rates, unfortunately.
Yeah, but they'll find a reason to raise rates. They'll
they seem to be able to.
Yeah, they'll find a reason to raise rates. Package prices will go up. There will be more packages offered. Probably like, oh, you want to be able to just check your email. Okay, this is the kind of bandwidth you'll get.
Well, they kind of do that now. But.
Oh, you want to be able to play WoW for 4 hours. Oh, well, you're going to have to pay a substantial amount.
What's going to happen with 4K streaming? Chris and I did some videos on CES.
Yeah.
Tons of talk about 4K streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix is doing it. Sony already has a digital delivery download method for it. What's going to happen for those? I mean, you're talking about gigs of data per movie.
Oh yeah.
I estimated it to be several gigs per movie.
Oh yeah.
But we're talking about, Netflix is going to be hurt bad. Sony's going to be hurt bad. Sony's a big player, and unfortunately, Sony doesn't actually have any actual connection methods or any actual companies that do manage it. Comcast owns NBC, so they got their own stake in it. The other big one's Verizon. They've tried to build their own cable company, and that failed miserably. Files was a failure. And AT&T is the other big one. They want to. Really, it's all about trying to tax Netflix. You're trying to tax people on something that's arbitrary and isn't even physical. It costs you no money to make data.
Now let's not use the word tax, because that makes people think government. This is just greedy corporations wanting to make more money.
Yeah,
that's all this is.
I am not anti-company corporation, but good God, this is just screams greed.
Oh yeah.
This is the greediest thing I've ever seen, short of EA's download system or EA's DNLA or DLA or DLC content. Hey, you want the real ending to your game? Download it for $10. EA, we are eviler than Bank of America.
Oh, how liberal!
That's a bold
statement.
Pay $60 to get part of a game.
There's actually someone did an article. Not last year, but the year before, where worst company. It was like Forbes or someone, and EA was voted the evilest company in America above Bank of America. And Bank of America was stealing people's houses.
Yeah.
Well, that could be a true statement about EA. Not to go too off topic, but because I've heard many stories of how they're supposed to be really big with taking independent houses and helping them out and doing all these things.
You're the freaking Borg.
No. They do that. They do that for a year, and then usually after a year, they find a way to take it over, rebrand it, and fire everyone who made it.
Yeah,
that's happened more than once.
They're the Borg, man. They just grab your studio and assimilate you.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
I'll give Take-Two credit. They treat their developers pretty well. But Activision's just as bad though. But that's topic for another time.
You mean Blizzard?
Oh yeah, Blizzard. Yeah, that's right. Activision, Blizzard.
Blizzard bought Activision.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So
the other way around.
Nope.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
They'll always be Activision to me.
Really.
Chris Medson, if you're listening, that's Matt Maciejewski, care of
Really.
Gamers Politics, P.O. Box.
Yeah, poor Activision. Yeah, not as bad as poor LucasArts, though. Talk about corporate greed.
Yeah, no kidding.
God.
No kidding. All right, folks. Well, I guess that's it for us. Tune in next time. We'll have more hot topics. We don't really know what we're going to talk about yet because we're, we kind of like to wait and see what happens, and we'll probably add those later in the week. But until then, this is Jerrid Foiles. Chris, go.
Oh, hey, this is
and say something.
Yeah, this is Fatty, aka Chris Kovacs. See you guys.
Deanna, say something.
This is Deanna Trader.
This is Matt Maciejewski. Be sure to check me out at admiraljoker.com. Except for my evil hosting company stole my domain name and now won't give it back to me. You sons of bitches!
Oh, bastards!
No.
I will kill you. Yeah, I refuse to pay $120 to them to re-up. So they're like, "Ha ha! We parked it. Ha ha, motherfucker." So be sure to check me out at arkham.dlinkddns.com and my Facebook at Matthew Maciejewski.
Oh, and actually, where can we find Chris? By the way.
Oh, you can find me.
McDonald's.
How did you know? You read
Or
my
Starbucks.
mind. It's like you're in my
shop.
mind.
Dunkin' Donuts.
It's crazy.
I spend a lot of time at Dunkin' Donuts.
I hate you guys.
We love you.
We do.
Yeah. Dynafire.
My wife already says I love you, so I ain't trying to fuck with that
Dynafire,
rumor.
you assholes.
Deanna, where can we find you?
Facebook.com/catsangel, CATS Angel.
And Victoria's Secret, right?
No.
Fredericks of Hollywood, dude. Fredericks of Hollywood. It's a real
Oh, yeah.
women's shop.
Yeah.
See in the Sears
I get
catalog.
my naughty stuff online.
That's
I
right.
get my naughty stuff online.
Then you can't get
That's in a
weird
brown
looks at
package.
the store, you know? There you go.
All right, folks, and you can find me at facebook.com/Jerrid Foiles. You could also find my video production company, Foil Wrap Productions, also on facebook.com/Foil Wrap Productions. And that'll be it for us here at Gamer Politics. Good night and good gaming.
See you guys.
Later.